What is the significance of having a dream with the Rebbe? Meeting the Rebbe in a dream when sleeping. I remember Diane Raskin here in London saying that we view such experiences as being beyond the dream. I'm asking because I'm very uplifted by a dream I had last night, but it also included for the first time the Rebbetzin. I thought it was the Rebbetzin Chayamushka, the Rebbe's wife, but it was in fact the Rebbe's mother, Rebbetzin Chana, who I feel particularly connected to because I was born on her yahrzeit, Vav Tishrei. This was a beautiful experience, but other than being a gift from Hashem, what does one do with an experience like this? Is it truly for a purpose? Maybe one of your posts, you can talk a bit about the significance of having a Rebbe dream. I am not an expert on mysticism. I'm not an expert on dreams. But partially because of what I've learned and partially of my experience or my indoctrination, if you will, as a chassid, I consider having a dream with the Rebbe of any type an incredible schus. It's very meaningful and very, very special. Now, what to do with it? That I don't know. That depends on the content of the dream, but the very fact that you had a dream of the Rebbe, I think, means something. And it means something good. The one source that I know about is in Tanya chapter 29, Perikov Tes, where the Alter Rebbe quotes the Zohar. That the Zohar says that when a person goes to sleep at night, if they had a very good day the day before, the neshama goes to Gan Eden. And when the neshama goes to Gan Eden, they're in a protected in a holy space. If a person didn't have such a good day, even if they didn't do anything wrong, but they just didn't use their day properly, so the neshama doesn't go to Gan Eden, and then they have silly dreams, empty dreams. And these dreams are considered painful for the neshama, because when a person is asleep, they have no control over their consciousness, and when things happen to a person in a dream that are not good, they are not in a position to redirect them, to remedy them, to correct them, to make use out of them. So it's just pain. But if a neshama goes to Gan Eden, then they don't have such silly dreams because the neshama is in a holy and a safe space. That's what it says in Tanya. And the issue in the Tanya is that if a person has such silly dreams, so if a person is on an extremely high level, that may be reason enough for a person to do tshuva. But logic dictates that the opposite is also true, that if a person has a holy dream, that's a sign that in one way or another the neshama is in Gan Eden. Now you may argue that the day before was wasted and not used well, and that you bechal not on the level to be zoiche, that when you sleep at night the neshama is eil l'mayla shavas l'chaim. Having a dream that involves holiness means that consciously or subconsciously there's a real connection between you and holiness. In other words, the dream is not happening in a vacuum. And if it is happening in a vacuum, then it's ultra special. In other words, if you're having such a dream and you made no preparations, that's the ultimate sign that it's coming from a place of holiness. But whether it's coming directly from the Rebbe or it's a reflection of where you're holding in your Avodas Hashem life, having a dream that involves holiness is a reflection that you are in some way in a good space, and therefore subconsciously, which is what happens when a person dreams, what happens when a person sleeps, good is coming up. So I always tell people, and I believe it, that having a dream with the Rebbe is a moidendikas chus. It's an incredibly great honor and merit, and it's a sign of zchus from the word purification, purity, zachus, that a person is able to have such a dream. And I think you should cherish those dreams. In terms of behaviorally doing something based on those dreams, that's an interesting question. If you get a direct off from the Rebbe in a dream, I suppose that's so sharp and so crisp, to quote Diane Raskin's words, it's beyond the dream, and you have to take such dreams seriously. I know people who have such dreams. I know people have the same dream repeatedly, where they get direct instructions from the Rebbe. And I think when that happens, you have to take them incredibly seriously. But even if the dream involves no instruction, it's simply the fact that you were zeich in your sleep to see guf and kaddish, to see holiness, is a very positive sign in your life. And you should take advantage of it by adding in holiness in your life when you're awake, not just when you're asleep, and maximize the value of this dream. I want to finish this segment by sharing with you something which is not connected directly, but it is connected indirectly to the question of dreams. And that is that, first of all, it's interesting that when we do Birchas Koyanim on Yom Tif, the Rebbe that we say is all about dreams. Second of all, at night, before we go to sleep, we speak about Pachad Baleilis, the fear of the night, and the Shishim Giboidim, some of the 60 warriors that surround the bed of Shlomo HaMelech, which are understood to be the 60 letters of the 3 psukim of Yorecha Yor Yisa, which is 15 words and 60 letters, and that it protects a person at night when they sleep, and which is also why we say Yesha B'Seiser, the first half of Yesha B'Seiser. It's also about being protected in the darkness. The concept of this philosophically and mystically is, as I already touched on a moment ago, that when a person is awake, they're conscious. And conscious means they're in control. They're in control of their thoughts, and they're certainly in control of their words and in their actions. When a person is asleep, they don't have that control. They have no control over their thoughts, and in some instances, they don't even have voluntary control over their words and even their deeds. People can sleep talk and sleep walk. And the idea is that when a person sleeps, they forfeit their control in order to get their body to rest and recover so that they can serve Hashem the next day, but intermittently they're in a state where they lost that control. That state is a vulnerable state. And that's why there's a pachad baleilis. It's a fear of being in a situation where you don't have your conscious mind to control your subconscious and to control the various factors that can affect us in ways that we don't want to be affected. So you say in Krishma about having all of these shmiras. But like I said earlier, all of these shmiras are necessary unless the neshama goes to Gan Eden. If the neshama goes to Gan Eden, which is a special schus, then they don't need shmira because the environment is shamur. So if I may say so, let's all wish one another to have pleasant dreams, sweet dreams, not to worry too much about our dreams. As far as speaking to dreams, when we do duchening, I'm just thinking that perhaps the reason is because the bracha of Koyanim is a very high bracha. It's a very lofty bracha. And the way it's explained in Chassidus, of course, is that it's a bracha that comes from very high and comes very low, and there's no interference. So a bracha of the nature of Birchas Koyanim that comes from so high and comes so low with a certitude has the power to control our destiny and our lives, not just on a conscious level, but on a subconscious level as well, which is why by Birchas Koyanim we speak not to dreams, but to dreams also.